Hello and welcome. JHL Ball Hockey on Silent Ice TV for Vengeance Media Production. My name is Michaelan Bonnick-Jetteris. I'll be calling the action for you here on the concrete surface, along with cameraman John and producer Zach to my right, bringing you this high-octane action. It is the U11 Scorpions taking on the U13 Grizzlies. The Scorpions scorching hot, winning tons of games, playing above their weight class in this one. Have a new goalie in net for them, number 33, Bennett Sanders. The Scorpions will be to the left of your screen in the black and red jerseys, where the Grizzlies wearing their now iconic yellow threads. It's always so fun to see hockey players in shorts. It's just an Edmonton summer hockey vibe. Ball hockey, if you're not familiar, slightly different rules. The biggest one is going to be the offside. Once the team breaks into the zone, I always like to remind viewers, the red line becomes the blue line, giving the teams more room, more time, more space to make their fantastic plays. I did get to call some of the Grizzlies action a couple of weeks ago. It was a first period hat trick for number 88, Pingali. We'll see if they can't continue some of their offensive success going up against, as I mentioned, the 11U Scorpions. From what I saw last couple weeks that I was calling ball hockey, this is now going to be my second and then third game after this, as there's two U9 teams going up against one another. The game itself is very similar to the ice hockey, except it's a ball and we're on concrete rather than an ice and puck. But the energy level is unmatched. You can tell that there are a handful of players on the concrete surface who really enjoy this wonderful game of hockey, as if the dozens and dozens of games played on the ice isn't enough. They are now joining the JHL Ball Hockey League, and some players, of course, only playing the ball hockey, not playing ice hockey, so it's a great mix of hockey lifers and hockey part-timers, soon to become hockey lifers. 13-minute periods, not much for intermissions. The referee's hand is up, the ball is dropped, and the Grizzlies try an early possession ahead. Nicely blocked by the Scorpions. They try and break into the zone, but an active stick on defense sends it right back down into the Scorpion territory, and that'll be an early icing, 16 seconds into the first period. I asked both teams, of course, talking to the coaches before the games. I also had a chance to just get a little powwow with the squadrons out there, asking the Grizzlies, what are your keys to success? Well, I made the mistake of asking several 12-year-olds at the same time, and I just got a barrage of score goals, pass, play good. We'll see if they can't execute on those three keys to the game: score, pass, and play good. Nice early save by Pingali in net. The brother of number 88 on the forward side for the Grizzlies. Good early first chance for the Scorpions. Trying to make a statement here, playing with a much younger group of players than the Grizzlies are bringing to the table. Scorpions try to break it in. Plays onside, send it on net. Nice play by Pingali, and then that one sent just wide. Pingali scrambles to get back in front of the net. The Scorpions have possession. Shot from distance on the goal line. It stays out. Pingali coming across with the paddle, and he scrapes it off the goal line. An early big save there. A fan on the shot from sharp angle, but they keep it happening. There's a shot from distance, high and over the net. The Scorpions asserting their dominance here early. That gets sent out, and here's that rule. The blue line, not the blue line, once the team has possession. And that one is sent in. Another save, steer to the corner. Scorpions with it. That's Shen going for a wraparound. It's in front of the goal. Tumbling down, and the Grizzlies will just ice it to try and relieve some pressure. Icing is in fact the call. Great ball movement on the back end there by the Scorpions. You can see why they've had so much success in this season. No panic, just execution. But Pingali in net for the Grizzlies, standing very tall. That one off the goal line as the net itself is quite a bit behind that line, actually. Creating a slight optical illusion as there's the ball in front of the net again. Grizzlies try to clear. Scorpions hard on that forecheck, earning the puck battle for a moment. Quick turnaround. That was Lebrec down low for the Scorpions. Lebrec 1-on-2. Coming in to help out is Homan. Scorpions still with it. Behind the net, that's Cross. Pushes it to the open side. Homan tries to go in front. A little bit of a miss on that one-time attempt. Lebrec could not get good wood on it, so to speak. Grizzlies try to push out. Now it's Pengali chasing after it. The Grizzlies will get their first offensive zone time if they can earn the battle. Scorpions turn it back as someone lost a shoe. The whistle's going to go for an offside. As I look for the barefoot player. Could have been something from the bench. Could hear very well on our Nats mic that a kid lost a shoe. So far, I think you got to commend, commend the Grizzlies for weathering that storm quite nicely. Number 81 on the far side. That is Constantino. Right in front, a shot. Pengali again with a save. It goes behind the net, and the Scorpions buzzing once more. Constantino gets the puck stripped from them. Here comes Roscoe. Now at the Scorpion blue line, Roscoe again creating some offensive opportunity, trying to get ahead was McMillan. And now the Scorpions back with numbers, a little 2-on-1. Buzzing past the defender, shot it right in front, Pengali again. Count it 4, maybe 5 big saves for the Grizzlies netminder so far here in the first, which is not even 4 minutes old. Hole sends it on from distance. There's a backhand chance right in front. Oh, it's Pengali again. And then getting a stick in the face while they're down. Referee will have to take a look and see if Pengali's all right. An absolutely incredible save. And then it looked as though one of the falling players caught Pengali in the head or neck region with the stick. We'll have to take a look at the replay, make sure you just go back 10 seconds on the old scrubber at the bottom. But before all of that was yet another incredible save from Pengali, keeping their team in it. As the Scorpions have had most of the offensive zone time, but Pengali's been equal to the task up till this point. Shot from distance, gloved away, rebound there, Pengali with the goal. They're going to call that a goal. The whistle appeared to have gone. From my eyes, a little bit slower than the refs. It did not go for the frozen puck. It went for the goal scored by Bauer Shen. Scorpions make it 1-0. Just poked in on the scramble play out of all the fantastic opportunities as my attention turns to the ref, seeing who ended up getting credit for that goal. I'll have to go check with the scorekeeper. I believed it was Bauer, but they may be giving that one to Hull. We'll check in the very, very short intermissions that we have here at the George S. Hughes Arena. Pengali, can hear the coaches say up the boards, but they were pinching nicely were the Scorpion defenders, and that creates this opportunity. Behind the net it goes. Player with the ball. Turning off of it, that's Shen. Trying to go over top, and it did land right in the slot. Scorpions keeping the offensive zone. Belhomera tries to get it back. Puck winds up in the slot. There's a slap shot and another great pad save, putting down Pangali, and then some rough stuff after the whistle. A rare look there. That was Rossborough Curry, with a nice clapper from distance. Well, Pangali, who has been undoubtedly the most notable Grizzly player up till this point, had to make another nice left pillow save. We'll have a face-off now to the left of Pangali. Referee drops the ball, tries to clear it out. Amsbo. Taken down, that's going to be a hooking or a tripping. Let's see what they call it. They're going to call him for the hook. Grizzlies are going to be down a player. The penalty box opens, a lonely walk. Digging in just a little too deep there. And as Eden Cooper will be sitting in the box. Power play happening, shot over the net, right in the slot it goes, there's one. Perhaps caught Pangali, went wide, going for the wraparound now, defended neatly there. Right in front it goes, and in the back of the net. The Scorpions score on the power play early. And judging by the parade to the bench, that will be Ryder Cross. Scorpions have had numerous good shot opportunities. Pangali has stood very tall back there, and it's the scramble plays, the rebounds, the tough looks for Pangali, unable to see the puck, unable to see the ball. Over under on how many times I say puck. Should be pretty high if you want to make it a useful bet. Scorpions with it still, behind the net. First period's been all Scorpions here, seeing why they're playing up a weight class. Backhand right in front, and here are the scramble plays that we talk about. Right in the crest, Pangali comes across to make the save. As some more chitter-chatter happening in front of the Grizzlies' net. Miniker digging in for the Scorpions. Another offensive zone face-off for the Scorpions. Win it to the winger. Some good ball handling there. Constantino trying to stick handle in that phone booth. Heads its way to the boards. Can't get it out for the Grizzlies. There's Constantino with a shot, and that one deflected into the corner. Scorpions possess. Hayden Miller has it now. Hayden Miller, that one's deflected, and now a chance for McMillan to get the Grizzlies back in it. An early save, or the first save opportunity it would be, as McMillan takes a jump to try and put that puck on net, and that's going to be not a jump but a trip, says the official on the back end here, calling that penalty. This will give the Grizzlies a chance on the power play, down 2-0 with 6:35 left to go in the first. Scorpions Jack Compton as they play You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch over the loudspeakers here. You love those little touches to the game. Well, this has been all Scorpions up till this point. Let's see what the Grizzlies can do on the power play. Sanders hasn't had to do much in the Scorpions net up until this point. Likely will have to get into this game now, as there's a clearing attempt missed. And the still onside, as that was on the right side of the red. Much harder to clear on the penalty kill with those ball hockey rules. But now at center, coming in on a breakaway, going for the 5-hole, trying to get their own rebound, falling on Pangali, who's holding the head, not feeling great. The ref will be forced to blow it down, and that's the second time we have seen Pengali with the head, and now the coach is getting in the ref's face rather than attending to the player, which seems obviously not happy with the non-call there. The ref is stating their case. Hopefully Pengali is all right, can get the attention that they need. Pengali now will walk back to the bench as well. As I mentioned, that is the second time, as the player first time looked like an errant stick maybe caught them. And that time, the attacking forward for the Scorpions, that was Matteo Cosentino, trying to get their rebound, just fell on the goalie. As I'll take that opportunity to just mute the ice level mic just for a moment, just in case something happens. As the coach now having a word with the timeskeeper box. Not sure what level of official is in there, as they're trying to get clarification on the call or non-call. Producer Zach telling me that is the commissioner in the penalty box that the coach is talking to, obviously pleading the case as to why that won't be a penalty. Of course, player safety is always at the very top. It should be at the very top all the way up to the pro level, but particularly when children are playing the children's game, you want to make sure that the safety is the utmost concern, as the goaltender is being talked to on the bench as well, being rallied around. Looks as though Pengali is going to stay in the game. That got a little row from the Grizzlies bench, cheering on their goaltender. I obviously understand why any head coach would be concerned for the player safety. Of course, penalties are called to stop any player from getting injured above anything and all else. That's why we have rules to the game. Hockey can be a very dangerous game, even when it's played completely fairly. On a play like that, just this play-by-play announcer's opinion, it looked as though they just took a tumble on goal. The penalty maybe could have been called because it was a dangerous play, but of course at this level I'm not ready to talk about any sort of intent. It's hard running full speed, but falling on another player is always going to be a cause for discussion, as the coach for the Grizzlies continuing their conversation with the commissioner in the box, as we'll have a whistle. Remember, Grizzlies still on the power play. That was a short-handed break for Cosentino. We'll see if the Grizzlies can't turn it into some offense. Ball's in the feet. Scorpions try and turn it back the other way with speed. And now the Grizzlies on the near side boards, shoveling it in. El Homera. But the Scorpions send it right back. Power play now, just 30 seconds left to go in the man advantage for the Grizzlies. Trying to make a play up the ice, but defended neatly, and now coming in with speed. The pass across, Pengali's there. There's the delayed shot, and it's in off the rebound. It looks as though it may have either been saved or hit the post, but the rebound for the Scorpion player in the red gloves and matching helmet. It's going to be Bauer Shen with what I believe to be their second goal of the game. I'll have to double check and see who that first goal got credited to. But that one we know for sure is Bauer Shen. Short-handed. The Scorpions not taking anything for granted despite being down a player, keeping the offensive pressure going, showing why they are the team they are with the record they have. And there's a clear. That'll end the power play for the Grizzlies. 0 for 1 with the man advantage. We call it -1 for 1 as they've given up one shorthanded goal. They'll try and turn some momentum from that, perhaps. That one sent behind the net. Scorpions keeping their momentum as they get into the slot. Back to the point it goes. Shot from distance, high, off the glove, and just missing the net. As another tumble there, no arm is up. Miniker. No, not Miniker, that is Lebrec, forgive me. Not kept in at the blue line. But no offside with the ball hockey rules. Lebrec trying to earn it behind the net, but using the strength is Roscoe, creating a puck battle, looking for some help from their teammates. Poke it back behind the goal, and it's the Scorpions get there first. A poke to the stick. Still with it. Bowman right up top. There's a shot. Wide of the goal after it was blocked. In the corner it goes. Rossborough Curry's had a couple great chances. There's a pass to the slot, and Ryder Cross finishes it off. The fourth goal of the period for the Scorpions, and Cross's second. As we head to 4-0 with all the action being in the Grizzlies' territory, we're reminded of a run time. That'll be happening at 5 goals. As I also mentioned, the 13-minute first period that's almost in conclusion, sponsored by United Sport and Cycle. Here's a chance right in on goal. Shot, goal! Top shelf where mama hides the cookies. That's Charlie Miniker. And just like that, 5, as if I willed it into existence. And I believe perhaps that straight time will only start in the second period and the third period. They let it play out in the first, I believe. We're all still new to the JHL Ball Hockey League. Reminder, this is the U11 Scorpions against the U13 Grizzlies. Grizzlies try and do something. You can hear the coach, Julia is open. That's talking about number 7, El Homera. Nice keep. Grizzlies try and get a shot on goal. That one high over the net. Here's a chance. Pingali puts it on goal. Rebounds there in the slot, but the Scorpions collect it. And they'll get sprung on a breakaway. In all alone, nothing but time. Makes a move. Pingali with a poke check. Keeping the ball out of the net is Pingali, getting ahead to their brother who dumps it in. Great opportunity for Cosentino, their second clear-cut breakaway of the game. The second time they've been denied. Offside, says the Lions official. As it will, in fact, be the run time. With a 5-goal lead and not much to be sniffed at for the Grizzlies. They had a little bit of an opportunity. Pingali in the forward group, number 88. Had some opportunities for the Grizzlies to get their first goal. Got a little word from the coach on that one. That one's dumped in. No icing. Either they deemed the player could have got there or the goalie did make an attempt. That was Sanders in the net. Name we haven't mentioned much as that one sent wide. Perhaps was off of Sanders, who was maybe had to make 1 or 2 saves. He's only really had to dial in for a couple opportunities, and maybe will be another one as that'll be a trip. Scorpions headed to the box. The Grizzlies will have an opportunity to stop this run time and break into the 5-0 lead that the Scorpions have built here in the first. Lines official ready to drop the ball. Grizzlies with a backhander off that draw. Behind the net it goes, a chance to clear, and an incredible keep. Just barely, not a high stick, and it'll send the Scorpions in on a potential break, but neatly defended by Roscoe. And now they'll battle in the corner, not 10 seconds left. That one sent through, not the blue paint, but where the blue paint would be. Maybe a chance, one last opportunity for the Grizzlies, but that ball battle will be bouncing closer to center ice, and nothing will be had here in the first period. 1 minute intermission. We'll join you here in a moment. Michael and Bonnick Jeter is calling the action. JHL Ball Hockey on Silent Ice TV. Welcome back to Silent Ice TV. This is JHL Ball Hockey. We got the U11 Scorpions taking on the U13 Grizzlies. Grizzlies down 5-0. The Scorpions dominating the play. Scoring on the power play, scoring shorthanded, scoring 3 even strength goals. Got to make sure I give Max Davey their just desserts. Bauer Shen only had 1 goal in that period. I say that tongue-in-cheek, only 1 goal. Bauer Shen did not score that first one. It was Max Davey with the first goal, then Bauer Shen, then Cross with a couple, and Charlie Miniker with the 5th one. As the Scorpions have their 4 players, remember they'll be on the penalty kill to start this off, as the Grizzlies are still trying to figure out who they have in net, perhaps, as their net is still empty and only 4 players for them on the concrete surface. Reminder, 5-0. We will be into run time. Also reminder, this second period, 13-minute stop time, or in this case, not stop time, sponsored by Napper. That's K-N-A-P-P-E-R. As we are still awaiting the goaltender for the Grizzlies to take their net. As I can see the goaltender for the Grizzlies, or no, sorry, for the Scorpions, number 33 Sanders, as we move our camera over there, looking like they're having a nice Sunday off. Looking like they're enjoying a nice relaxing Sunday. Of course, stepping in for the Scorpions, does not normally play for the team, does Bennett Sanders, but has not seen a lot of action. Did get to speak with, I presume, Mrs. Sanders, Bennett's mother. Said that he was a little nervous for playing with the Scorpions. Said the team he normally plays for, the club he represents, gets beat by the Scorpions. but everyone can say that in the U11 division. The Scorpions red hot. But I think he's been enjoying his time with the new team. I asked him before the game, what do you have to do to stay focused? Like, what do you bring to the table here playing for a team you don't normally play to? And he said very even keel, gave a very good goalie answer. How to just keep my mind in the game, and didn't have much else to say to me. Just classic for goalies. Goalies usually don't talk too much, as we still await what the Grizzlies are going to do in net. There's no goaltender. Perhaps there was a wardrobe malfunction. Perhaps there's only a minute breaks in between. Perhaps there was a need to use the bathroom. A Roberto Luongo type situation, perhaps. For those who know, you know. As the players at center ice appear to be getting to know each other a little bit. All friendly chit-chats. I'm just going to commit to saying ice, maybe. Maybe I'll just commit to saying ice. I'll do my best to say ball. But I don't know what else to call it. On the concrete surface, just does not roll off the tongue. Off the cement, it just sounds violent. Cement just sounds, I'd much rather fall on ice than cement. And with this lengthy delay, we're just going to take a little break here on JHL Ball Hockey Silent Ice TV. And we are back now, officially ready to start the second period. New goaltender for the Grizzlies, wearing number 30, originally number 93, Dyson Kindle. Shout out to room 224 for Dyson Kindle. As the ball is dropped, still on the power play, trying to get a goal here early, and Bennett with their first big save of the game, down in a heap behind the net. As I try and catch my breath after sprinting to the Grizzlies bench to try and figure out who's playing goal for him. It's Kindle. "50 seconds of power play time here for the Grizzlies. Caden Davidson in the box for the Scorpions. 14 counterpart Bone. Pushes it to the middle. That one sent behind the net for Kindle. The Grizzlies goaltender being changed. I presume Kindle has some experience in the net, but we will see how the Scorpions act. Offside, says this close official. We'll have a face-off in neutral ice. Palms are up from Grizzlies player, looking for a penalty, none forthcoming. Power play now over. We'll see what the Scorpions, already a much better start. Only 90 seconds, but a much better start for the Grizzlies. Short intermissions, it's hard to direct the troops, as this faceoff will not be on neutral concrete. So now the ref and lines official are discussing. It's another penalty on the play. Well, I'm a little confused. I believe the one penalty had ended, but perhaps that was a 4 instead of a 2, as now it is a 2-man advantage for the Grizzlies. A great opportunity to get into this score sheet. That one sent way down the concrete, and this will be a chance now for the Scorpions. Getting it right in front, roofing it back of the net. Scorpions score down a player. That was Dax Lebrecq. Cheering with the player in the penalty box as well. Lebrecq's first goal of the game. That makes it 6-0 for the home Scorpions. Still down a player. Not letting that affect their mojo one bit. Ball was not dropped fairly. Face off won by the Scorpions. Good stick handling, passing it ahead, trying to get past the defender. But it's the Grizzlies. Cooper plays it ahead, just offside, but the Grizzlies will try and force it through again. But here come the Scorpions. Now a nice move at center concrete, pushing it into the offensive zone. Pass across. Oh, what a great save by Kindle, and then tucked home backdoor Scorpions. Hudson Hole, I believe, will get credit for that one, number 18. And that will now make it 7-0 for the Scorpions. I was briefed before the game just how good the Scorpions have been this year. That's why they are playing up a weight class for this game. It is showing very much so. It's 15-7 here, close to us, on the wrong side of the red line. Miller and Finlayson, they'll figure it out, and the ball gets dropped. Back to even strength are both the teams. I have to mention just an incredible great save there by Kindle on the first opportunity, as they're going to have a penalty now behind the play, another trip. Scorpions going right back to the penalty box. I believe this might be Dax Lebrecq. Smiling at his bench as he goes there. No, not Lebrecq, sorry, that's Miniker. Charlie Miniker wearing number 97. Goaltender for the Scorpions, Bennett Sanders. Probably wants something to do here. Can't imagine they've broken much of a sweat. Won't have to wash the hockey gear today. But we'll see if the Grizzlies can change that with another 2-minute power play. As Finlayson corrects their spot on the face-off. Ball's dropped. Trying to push it right on goal at the blue line. Grizzlies can't keep. And here come the Scorpions with speed. Cosentino trying to earn it as that one pushes to the corner. Stick was slashed out of Roscoe's hands. Tried to flip it over top. Kindle took a moment to find it, but they did. Finlayson chasing after it, but it's the Scorpions again, sending it in deep. Here's Cosentino. Cosentino, shoot from distance. Nice save there by Kindle. Back to the blue line, bouncing over the stick, but sent right back on that deflection. High stick will be the call there. Trying to flip it over the net. We've seen a couple of those. Attempts to just flip it directly over the net and put it in the slot. Tough movements for a goalie to manage. Nevertheless, a goalie that probably didn't think they would be playing in net this game. As we're down to 7 minutes left here in the second period. Offensive zone draw still on the power play for the Grizzlies. That one ahead and then sent down the ice by the Scorpions. As Kindle comes out to play it, has it bounce past their stick. Off the boards. Trying to bring it across the blue, but it's stopped up there by the Scorpions. Cosentino again trying to get the ball back, but it's Pingali with it. Pingali gets that poked off, and a tough change for the Scorpions. It was a long change, and it's going to make them pay here. A 3-on-0 for the Scorpions. And that one saved. No one knew where it was for a moment, but Kindle had it buried in their equipment. I think I misspoke. Tough change for the Grizzlies. Defenders were going off at a very inopportune time, but Kindle saving the bacon, keeping this at a 7-0 game. Face off, one, back to the point. Hard shot in the back of the net. Scorpions score again. A very respectable muted celebration there for the Scorpions. As I believe that was Hudson Hole with their second goal, making it now 8-0 Scorpions. Nice play right off the draw, coming in with speed, but they're going to call that offside. That was Bauer Shen looking to make a highlight reel with that one. Face off at neutral concrete. Might commit to concrete from here on out. There's a shot from distance. Kindle's there, decides just to pounce on it. You had Caden Davidson roaring down that left side, forcing the whistle. Ball is dropped. Scorpions moving it, trying to go for that shot. Shen couldn't get it to go. Back on the half boards here, Shen with it again. There's a shot from distance, and that one caught a player in front, maybe the glove of Kindle as it winds up behind the net. Trying to jam that in short side is Shen. And then trying to bank it in off the goaltender, and it's still free, and they score, the Scorpions again. As they continue to pile it on. I'll have to double check in the intermission who got credit for that one. The Scorpions keeping this play alive, sending it in deep. Holman in the corner. Nice move to evade that pressure, getting it right into the slot. They jam away again. Scorpions trying to make it an even larger margin. The Grizzlies can't get it out. Poked back ahead to the high slot, turn and shot, and there's a play, and they score again, Scorpions. This period started with some penalty trouble, and that one I can say for sure is Grayson Holman. That increases the lead here to 10-0 for the Scorpions. As I take a peek back to Bennett Sanders, resting on their goalie pads, has not seen a lot of action. That's the goaltender for the Scorpions. One of the things I had talked to the Scorpions before the game, they said we want to play well in front of our goalie, make him have an easy shutout today. So far, that has worked to perfection. Can Pengali rewrite that script? Passes it across. Neatly defended, as the closest linesman is going to call a penalty here. Going to call a trip. This will be against the Scorpions again, I believe. As that will be Samuel Rossborough Curry sitting in the box. Can the Grizzlies break that shutout, as there is a hard slash down in a heap as Pengali, but no call there as that shot was blocked. Pushed it to the corner. Trying to get it out are the Scorpions. They push it up the wall. And now with some speed, using the legs, but a great defensive sellout play there on that mini back check, preventing what would have been a sure breakaway for the Scorpions. And great speed catching up. That's Homan getting the ball on their stick. Homan still with it, shorthanded behind the net. Trying to center it. That one sits by the near post. And Kindle gets the whistle, as that will nearly take us through the second period. Sponsored by Napper. As the run time continues, but I don't think we'll have time for this ball to be dropped, as we now head to 8, 7, 6, 5. We can figure out the rest, as this ball will not be dropped. As that'll do it for the second period. Lots of goals to tell you about. 10-0, the Scorpions lead. We will pick this up in about a minute. This is JHL Ball Hockey on Silent Ice TV. We are back. Michael Bonnick-Jeter is calling the action for you here. Cameraman John, producer Zach, bringing you this JHL ball hockey action. Grizzlies on the power play to start this third period, trailing by double digits now as the Scorpions bring it in. Trying to increase that lead, send it in on the new goaltender, Kindle. Is there to make the stop. As I took a picture of the score sheet towards the end there, it was hard to keep track of all the goals that the Scorpions were scoring, but we got to give our just desserts to Dax Lebrec, who completed a hat trick in that period. Scored the first 2 goals in that second period and then the final one as well. 2 of those goals were shorthanded, the score sheet indicates. As there'll be no more opportunity for a shorthanded goal here. Penalty expires. Ball in front of the Grizzlies' net, trying to get it out of danger. The high slot it comes. The backhander off the post, as that was just out of the reach of Kindle, who had the angle, they'll claim. That one sent down the concrete. No icing, says the official. Some time for a breakout pass. Nice tape-to-tape passing there by the Scorpions, and then they'll send it in from the right side of the red. Behind the net it goes. The forecheck commences, creating a puck battle there. The Grizzlies force it up this near wall. Neatly checked. A couple Scorpion defenders there stopping forward progression, and then it is taken with force by Hole. Here he comes. Hole pass across just out of the reach. Unable to put that home was Miller. Miller with it. Miller pass back. Now spinning. Amsbo pass to the high slot. There's a shot, and that was a hard one by Hole just over the net. Cosentino has it in the corner. That one right off the pad. Good stop there by Kindle. Grizzlies rip it down the boards, but it's kept in. There's a nice move. Hole with a chance. Shoots and scores for the Scorpions. As I double check my game sheet, that is the second goal for Hole. First one coming at the beginning of that second period as they increase their lead now to 11. Mentioned this 13-minute third period sponsored by the Canadian Brew House. Sent in deep for the Scorpions. Nice move, pass right to the slot. They get a couple chances, but Kindle has it only for a moment, and then it's bounced behind the net. Kindle gets up, regroups. Scorpions pass back to the open point, but the D personnel was pinching. They'll have to chase that down with speed as Rossborough Curry send it to the open wing. Compton's there. Compton sends it up the boards, and there's the forward group ready to take it. And now with speed, here comes Shen. A 3-on-1. Shen with it. Shen will pass. Cosentino back to Shen, and they score. And not Cosentino. I think that must have been Max Davey with the tape, making that a 7. Either way, a great finish there by the Scorpions. Unselfish play. That'll increase it to a cool dozen for the Scorpions. Grizzlies try to send it in as a player is literally tying their shoe in the middle of the concrete. That's what ball hockey can do sometimes. He's got to keep those laces on. No harm, no foul there. Interesting time to tie the shoe. It's Emmett Roscoe. Got to tighten up those laces a little bit. Scorpions push that behind the net. Still buzzing around the Grizzly goal. Draws the pressure, makes a move around. Behind the net it goes, trying to push it to the middle. Winds up on the far side boards. Trying to push it past the blue. They'll do just that and then get it past the red. The Scorpions will have to touch up. They send it in. The clear attempt by El Homera. Stopped by the defender. Clean on the entry. So this will be an onside play. There's a shot wide on the blocker's side. And that one on the back door. LeBret can't quite get enough stick on it to bury it. Still with it here is Dax. Good play by Roscoe. Trying to push it past the D-men. They do just that. Ball will come all the way back to Bennett. Bennett gets a touch on the ball. I'm sure they're happy about it. The high slot it goes, but it's taken there by Scorpions. That's Cross trying to move it up, but Pengali takes it, and there's going to be another trip. This one called against the Scorpions. As this will be another penalty. This one going against the Scorpions. Back underway. Ball gets sent into Grizzly territory. Trying to keep it in, but unable to do so. The Grizzlies turn it back now. Going to the front of the net, but the play was behind. Behind the goal it goes. Bone with it for the Grizzlies. Still on the power play here. Bone up the boards, but passed. That's McMillan. And that clear attempt will work out for the Scorpions as we run down the final moments of this game. Under 5 minutes to go now. Oh, a tough check there as the arm goes up immediately. Scorpions player, always tough to see any sort of check like that when you push them in the back into the boards, especially in a 12-0 game. You got to imagine the referees, rightfully so, are going to be a lot more cautious when the game is out of hand like this. This faceoff will come all the way back. Bennett Sanders talking with their defenders as this will be potentially, I believe, 5-on-3 for some time. There's a lot of penalties, mostly for the Scorpions. Hasn't stopped them from scoring goals, multiple shorthanded. So I'll remind you all, after this game, we got the Eagles U9 taking on the Scorpions U9. So we'll see some more black after this. There's a shot and a goal. The Grizzlies score, and they celebrate it nicely, making it 12-1. Grizzlies, Bentley McMillan. As breaking the donut there is the Grizzlies. Good shot from distance. Always tough for a goaltender to just all of a sudden be forced to make a big save. as there's going to be another tripping call. As the U9 Eagles and Scorpions are ready to take the ice. We're slightly behind our schedule time. Of course, our thoughts go to Pengali as I try and reconcile how to say that first name. But the goaltender for the Grizzlies taken out in the first intermission, forcing Kindle to come in, who has played admirably. 2 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Ball is cleared. Corbin Redford. Pass across the blue. Here comes Pengali. Defenders lined up on the blue line. They'll send it into the opposite corner. Now under 2 to go. In the corner it goes, player down, and then a tackle and a little bit of some fighting happening here as the referee has to get in on it. Worst case scenario at the end of the game. I did not see the initial push that caused that first penalty. But you saw the action afterwards as the referees will very potentially just let the clock run out. This game has been decided a while ago. You don't want to see anybody get hurt. So we'll remind you we will be doing our player interview after the game. As there's going to be some angry Grizzly players on the bench with their arms up, as the referee is all but going to call that as the Scorpions are celebrating. The clock is running out, which I can't say I disagree with that entirely. Just in terms of once you see that pushing and shoving and the tackling, and you can't be having that happening. That's Pengali at center ice, the goaltender who was taken out of the game, being told to retreat back to his team. As the clock has now stopped at 49.4 seconds, forgive me. It appears as though that is because the game is over. As we will let our clock run out here, the players will do a handshake, and we will have a player interview coming up momentarily. As before we do the player interview, we'll take a look at the 3 stars. Third star for the Grizzlies, number 91, lone goal scorer. That's McMillan. And then Hull was the second star, and first star with the hat trick is Wyatt Stevenson. No, it is not Wyatt Stevenson. It is Dax Lebrecq. But that is all right. We're going to be talking to Dax here in a moment. We can clear all of that stuff up. Here with a 3-time goal scorer, Dax Lebrecq. What did your team do well in this game, outscoring your opponent by double digits?
Yeah, I think we passed the puck really good. We were working really hard, and we got rewarded.
You did get rewarded. You yourself got rewarded. Not all your doing, though. Some fantastic plays by your teammates. What can you say to them leading to your success in this game?
Yeah, I say thanks to them. They got me some of my goals, and yeah.
Well, congratulations on the win, Dax. Hopefully you have some more continued success in the season. Have yourself a great Sunday.
Thank you.
That is young superstar forward Dax Lebrecq scoring a hat trick and a handful of assists there as well. check out on the JHL Ball Hockey website so you can see all those stats up to date. And that'll pretty much do it for us here. We got some more hockey happening very shortly. This has been Michaelan Bonnick-Jeteris calling the action. JHL Ball Hockey on Silent Ice TV. Thank you to cameraman John and producer Zach for bringing you this JHL Ball Hockey, a For Vengeance media production.